Okay guys, the Origin Eye Cards have just dropped 10 minutes ago. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you my overall reactions as these are the last body parts. And in the current version of Axie Infinity, eyes just contribute to stats. They do not have their own cards, just like the ears. So it will be exciting to see what cards we'll get for the eyes. So let's start this off. But yeah, I'm so excited. It was just released 10 minutes ago, so these cards are super new. So these are the plant eye cards. 4 of them. Poppy, it costs 1 energy and it does 45 healing, and you get to target any ally. Whenever this is drawn, you get to heal 20 HP. So that is a pretty good card. Definitely will be pretty good for some plant axies just to heal and give them a bit more durability. Then Confusion, it's a 1 cost energy card and it does 60 damage. It's an attack, and you get to shuffle 1 Confuse into your opponent's discard pile, which could be very good. Then we have a 2 cost energy card, which does 50 healing, and you heal your team and apply 5 healing boost. And that's for 2 energies. So that is a pretty good card. I don't think it's the best 2 energy cost card, but it should be interesting to see how well it does in the meta. And then there's Blossom. It's a 0 cost energy card, and it's a skill and banish type of card. So you get to put 1 plant card from your draw pile into your hand and then banish. Now before we move on to the reptile, I think the strongest one is out of these 4 are gonna be Poppy. I think it's a really good healing card, and yeah, I think it's gonna be really strong. Then Reptile. So Gecko will be a 0 cost energy card. You get to heal 25 health. And this actually loses 50 HP, heal, and cleanse 1 debuff on other allies. So an interesting card. You heal 25, but you do lose 50. Okay. Definitely an interesting card. And then right beside it is Tricky with some really cool design. It has a really cool design. And then it's a 1 cost energy card. You get to heal 50 health. And if this is the initial, you get to swap this card with 1 selected card in your banish pile. Looks interesting. Kind of like if you played Pokemon before, like Pokemon TCG, you know that a lot of psychic Pokemon have these cool abilities. I feel like this Tricky could be like a card like that. And reptiles could have, I think they have a bunch of cool cards like that. And then another 0 cost energy card is Scar. You put 1 reptile card from your draw pile into your hand, and then you banish. And then the last one costs 1 energy. You do 25 damage, and you deal 10 bonus damage per your banished card. Topaz, again, kind of like almost like a Pokemon TCG kind of psychic card. Very interesting, and it could be good in certain situations, but you'll have to build your deck right, and you'll have to learn how to use it to its full advantage if you want to have it, for it to be good. I think that Tricky could be a good card. Also, yeah, I think Tricky could be a good card. Yeah, I'm gonna go Tricky for the strongest one in this. Then we're going to the bird cards. So there's Robin. Summon a little Robin. That should be interesting. Oh, I was so excited to see Robin since it's one of my favorite bird eyes. Like bird eyes. I went right straight to it. But it's a 1 cost energy card and summon a little Robin. We'll go backwards for this one. So then there's Little Owl, which is a 1 cost energy card and does 60 damage. And all Little Owl cards of this Axie gain 6 damage this battle. So definitely a card that could do a lot of damage if it already does 60 right off the bat. And if you get to use it enough, it can go up to 66. It can go very high, which could be really good That could be a very strong card. And then there's Lucas. And it's a 0-cost energy card. It's a skill and banish type of card. And you put 1 bird card from your draw pile into your hand, and then you banish. And then the last one is Mavis. You get to summon 1 Mavis, so it's a skill. Mavis looks... I'm excited to see what a little Robin does and what a Mavis does. I think a little Robin will do an attack, since it says it's an attack card, and the Mavis probably won't do any damage or very little, but it'll do some cool type of effect that could be very powerful. But both interesting cards to look out for. But it's hard to know what Mavis and Robin will do, or what they'll be like, or how good they'll be. But from what I'm getting in this, I will say the Little Owl is the best card out of those ones. Then Beast, starting off with Zeal, a card that we saw at the very beginning. It's a 0-cost energy card. It's a skill and banish card. Those 2 combinations are some of my favorites. But you put 1 Beast card from your draw pile into your hand, and then you banish. And then this next one is a 1-cost energy card. It does 60 damage. Little Peas. And you apply vulnerable for 4 turns, which could, depending on how strong vulnerable, I can't say that word right now, but depending on how strong that will be, how strong that effect could be. It could be a very powerful card since it does 60 damage, and if I think what it will be like, and it will help, attack Axie will be more vulnerable to all of your team's Axies. It could be a very strong card to have in your... it could be a very strong card that you could have. Then Puppy, love the animation on this puppy... Sorry, not the animation, the design of this puppy card. It's a 0-cost card, and the animation is so cute. But look at that. That cute little beast is running after that bone. But it's a 0-cost energy card, and you put 1 Beast card from your discard pile into your hand, and then you banish. And then the last one is it costs 2 energies, it does 50 damage, and it attacks all enemies. Now that's like 150 damage, so that could be really powerful, doing 50 to everyone. But I think that there are a bunch of really strong... I think it could be very strong. Definitely. I think Little Peas and Chubby could be super, super strong in this. But yeah, very strong. And then now we're going to Bug. I think that the design is pretty cool on this card right here, Nerdy. But number 1 is Bookworm, and you put 1 card from your draw pile into your hand, and then you banish, and that's a 0-cost energy card. And then Nerdy, the one that I said had cool animation, is also a 0-cost energy card, but then you discard up to 2 cards, then draw that many, and then banish. So could be an interesting... It could be a pretty interesting card just to get some... Because especially... If you don't like the cards that you have, it can be a great card to just switch up your what you have available for a bit. And then Neo, it's a 1-cost energy card, and you get to look at the top 4 cards of your opponent's draw pile, and then you banish. And then Kataro, it does 50 damage, and you attack 1 random enemy and apply Death Mark for 4 turns. So I don't think Death Mark will be quite like it is in this current meta. It will. I do think it will be similar, but Kataro could be very powerful. I think Kataro is probably the strongest card for me. Out of these 4 Bug Eye cards, Nerdy could also be powerful in the right situations, but I think Kataro is probably the strongest out of these ones. Now we're going to the aquatics, some of the strongest Axies in the game. And we saw Telescope before, but that should be an interesting card. But the first one is Sleepless. So it's a 1-cost energy card. You do 60 damage, and you shuffle 1 daze into your opponent's discard pile. Looks pretty decent. Like, pretty decent card. Then the next one is Clear. It's a 0-cost energy card, and you get to discard up to 2 cards and draw that many. Banish. I think, yeah, the same to Nerdy. And then Gyro, don't know how to pronounce this one, but it's a 1-cost energy card. It does 60 damage, and then you apply Fragile for 4 turns. And then the last one is Telescope, which is a 0-cost energy card, and you put 1 aquatic card from your draw pile into your hand and then banish. So I think that Sleepless, I actually think Telescope is going to be the strongest one out of all of these 4 aquatic cards, but it should be exciting. But those are all of the eye cards, so that's really cool. Some cards I'm definitely excited to try out myself, see how they work in the meta, see other people use them. But I'm so excited because Origin is almost here, and there's so much exciting stuff on the horizon for Axie Infinity. So stay tuned if you want to see more Axie content, and I'll see you on the next one. Ciao.